you'll please go to the Science2 homepage, and you're looking for an assignment that is titled Tasks for Unit 1, Lesson 4, U1L4. You can either look under Assignments, or you can go to the homepage and scroll down to that weekly calendar table we have, find today's date, which is the 18th, and you'll see it under the Science2. It'll say Science2 AC plan, because A period and C period, you guys are pretty much doing the same thing. So I've condensed them. Once you have that open, we'll work through it. Gotta find it myself. All right, I just want to start off with a little bit of homework review, and I don't normally like doing this, but I'm going to put some people on the spot right now. Let's go check our carbon footprint data and see who got it entered and who didn't. Hey, this is looking really good. You guys are looking much better than my previous class. Summer, I need you to enter your numbers. Abby, you need to enter your total, and Sloan, you need to enter your total, which you can just hit equals sum and add it up, or honestly, I can do that too. But we'll be working with that data a little bit today. I'm going to try to work my way through the introduce yourselves Flipgrid. There are 11 posts, but there are 14 people in this class, so 3 of you need to make sure that you are doing that and getting those submitted. And you also have the reading quiz for Hewitt chapter 28.1, which I know is pretty short. Were there any questions you had on that? Anything you got stuck on the Canvas reading quiz, or that you wanted help with?
I think the last question was kind of hard.
Last question was, the nebula theory is based on the observation that the solar system, yes. If you guys haven't noticed, I take these directly from your textbook, and yeah, in my opinion, this one is very vague. But according to the textbook, the correct answer is, can anyone offer? What did you pick?
It was like the physical one.
Yep, follows patterns indicating that it formed progressively from physical processes, which I mean is kind of in line with the whole long paragraph about nebular theory and how, you know, it started to spin and gravity was condensing things and then the sun ignited. But I can see how that's confusing, because technically, you know, like, is highly complex and appears to be built from chaotic processes, in my opinion, would also sort of align with it. But I guess it's more just to focus on physical processes. So yeah, the correct answer was the one about physical processes. Again, you can retry or retake that quiz to correct that if you did get one of those questions wrong. Good question. Any others? Okay. I'd like to have at least 2 people share their collages today, just so we can keep working through those at a steady pace. So would anyone like to, again, I've got them ready and I will pull them up once we pick someone. We're probably about halfway through the class. Would anyone like to go, or should I just select a victim?
I'll go.
Okay, Harmony. Let me pull yours up. Do you know what you titled yours, Harmony? There's some that don't have names in the title.
It says Harmony Science Collage.
Okay, that should definitely be in here. I have you checked off. For some reason, I am not seeing it.
Should I share it again?
Yeah, try one more time real quick. Just take a second. Okay, while we're waiting for that to go through, would anyone else like to go? Harmony, I'll have you go second. Otherwise, Harrison, would you be willing to share?
Sure.
Okay, this one I've got. All right, talk us through it, Harrison.
It's basically my summer. You have me, you have my cat, who's a Norwegian mountain cat. Let's see, on the ground there, you have a tennis racket and a bowling ball, because I worked at the tennis courts and bowling alley the entire summer. Worked out a lot, watched a bunch of anime. I live in Tahoe, and I have the Earth there to represent astronomy, which is my favorite category of science.
Nice. What's one anime that you were watching a lot or that you enjoyed in particular?
I mean, right now I'm watching a bunch of Black Clover. So pretty good.
Nice. And so, what exactly were you doing at the tennis courts?
I just wake up super early in the morning, go there, blow them down, get all the pine needles off them.
Nice.
Yeah, do a bunch of
Yeah, you
maintenance.
really realize what a big space it is when you actually have to keep it clear. That was always I did a little tennis thing as well, and that was always the first task. I was cleaning everything off, and yeah, it made you appreciated the space. But it's nice playing on a clean court. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, thanks for sharing. Let me check. Let's see, Harmony. Let's see if yours came through here. Got it. Okay, Harmony, you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so my summer was kind of spent at home entirely because of coronavirus and the wildfires, and because my dad is in the military and we were under a special set of guidelines, so we couldn't really go anywhere. So I watched a lot of movies. I have two of the movies there, and I have my cats because I spent a really long time with my cats being stuck inside. And my section of science I'm interested in is kind of anything to do with humans, anatomy, physiology. But I don't really know what to call it, like surgical science. Like I want to be a surgeon when I grow up, so that's my interest.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know if that has I mean, once you get in surgery, it kind of depends on the area of the body you specialize in, and then that kind of delineates the name. But that's great. What are your cats' names?
Evan and Coco.
Nice. What's your dad do in the military? Is he a Marine?
Yeah, he right now he's at NPS, so he's just a student, but he's done everything.
Nice. And were those movies you've watched, or were you just choose them because they've got kind of a life biology theme and Earth
Those
theme?
were, yeah, those are ones I watch. We kind of watch a lot of sci-fi ones like that.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I saw Life a while ago. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, kind of a alien trope kind of movie, but it was fun. Awesome. All right. Thanks a lot for sharing. Again, we'll keep starting off with those and keep chipping away. We've got probably about 6 more that we'll get through in the next 2 lessons or so, I hope. Okay. Next task is to reflect a little bit on our carbon footprint data. So we're on task number 3 here, and what I'd like you to do is click on that link right there, the Science2C carbon footprint data, and it will pull up a cleaned up version of the data that you were initially looking at where we entered it. I'll share my screen here really quickly. This is what you should be seeing. I took out names and I kept location in general and sex just because it might be kind of interesting to compare them. But these are just the numbers of everyone who had it done at the time. So 13 of you had it done. So I'm going to throw you into breakout rooms where I would like you to answer the questions on the task list. Specifically, share your answers to what categories are the highest. You can see the total on the bottom. Why do you think this is the case? Why is there so much variability between everyone? So, okay, I'm going to throw you into random breakout rooms. We'll do the usual thing. We'll just time for 3 minutes, then we'll come back together to share. Okay. Okay, breakout rooms are open. Go for it. And they're referred to as Jovian. I like that the last 3 spell out sun, right? Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto used to be a planet, but then it got downgraded because it has not cleared its orbit. And what that means is there's a bunch of debris floating around in the same orbit as Pluto. As it goes around, there's still things that are hitting it that it's smashing into. Whereas all these other planets have done that already. There's nothing You know, like Earth has cleared its orbit. We used to think there was actually 2 large planets within Earth's orbit that smashed into each other to form our current planet along with the moon. So astronomical units is an important concept because space is really, really big. And so astronomers need a big unit to measure things, or else you're going to be working with numbers that are ridiculous to post or to do math with. And so astronomers use what's called an astronomical unit, or an AU. It's based on the distance from average distance of Earth from the sun. And so we just measure everything relative to that. It comes out to be about 150 million kilometers. But we'll keep it simple and we'll just use astronomical units. You'll be using them in your activity today. And you guys asked about that last question on the Hewitt quiz, which I agree was a little confusing. But nebular theory is just describing how our solar system formed from this sort of cloud of dust and debris that it started off as. And it's all about gravity pulling things to the center, or the star, the sun being the biggest source of gravity. But also, what's interesting is it began to spin around as this happened. So it was collapsing in on itself due to gravity, right, being pulled matter towards the center. But it also began to spin, and as it got smaller and smaller, it spun faster and faster, giving it that sort of flat, characteristic shape that we now often see in movies and on posters. But that is what we see in telescopes. Planets began to form in that spinning debris, and it explains why every single planet has the exact same direction of orbit. I don't know if that's ever struck anyone as weird before, but every single planet orbits in the same direction. And that's because at some point there might have been something that spun the other way, but it got so smashed by other objects moving in the other direction that that became the dominant movement. The sun ignited actually after the planets began to form, which is why, again, it cooked the inner planets. So that's why we have these rocky planets like what we live on, but the outer planets have remained gaseous, which is why they're also so large. Okay, and that is the gist for chapter 28.1. We'll be using a project to explore more of chapter 28, but any questions on that first section of the chapter? All right, well, then we're going to do 2 activities today where you're going to map out the solar system, kind of similar to how we did it with the history of the universe, but this time you're going to be using a paper roll to map out where the planets are and get an idea of just how distant certain planets are from each other, and then we'll try to get outside and do the same thing. So on the tasks list, we are now on step number 5, I believe it is. Yep, mapping out the solar system. There's 2 activities there. I'm going to give you 15 minutes for each one. So for the first one, I'll time 15 minutes. We'll check in, and then we'll go on to the second activity. So activity 1 is called Pocket Solar System. Click on that. It'll take you to an assignment that has instructions. Please follow those. I list what you need, which is you'll need scissors, marker, and you'll need your roll of paper that is from your kit. Looks like this. That's receipt tape. You'll need that roll. You'll be cutting it though, so you'll stretch it out from hand to hand, cut that. So there's a video that you should click on that assignment that'll walk you through what to do. It's actually a NASA scientist walking you through it. And then I also have written instructions there, but you're going to be folding the paper and marking where the different planets are. And then I would like you to add some detail, which is to note the actual astronomical unit distance of each of the planets from our sun. So add those numbers in once you have your planets labeled on your sheet of paper. And then take some time to draw the planets, color them in. So you are going to be posting a video of this to Flipgrid eventually, but you don't have to get that done in these 15 minutes. I do encourage you to take the time and kind of color and decorate your strip as you go. So again, I'm going to time for 15 minutes to let you work on that. I'll be here listening if you have any questions or are confused by anything. If you don't have your paper roll, you can use toilet paper, or you can tape sheets of paper together, whatever works best for you. Okay, 15 minutes for activity 1. Go for it.